Somewhere out here is one of the richest gold mines in Joshua Tree, a 10-stamp mill built by a man some call a genius and others call a bimbling, conniving desert conman and thief. But getting to the Lost Horse Mine isn't easy. The trail is rough and the desert doesn't forgive mistakes. But if you make it, you'll find something most people never see. And the story behind it is stranger than the mine itself, because the man who built this didn't get to keep it.
All right, folks, this is the tombstone of the infamous Johnny Lang. Today we're going to visit a mine that he founded. It's called the Lost Horse Mine. I'm going to tell you a lot about Johnny Lang, about how he died and why he's here. We're going to talk about the mine, and we're also going to talk about why it's called the Lost Horse Mine. There's a very interesting story behind that. But this grave is, I'm not going to tell you exactly where it is because I don't want anybody to vandalize it. If you look hard enough, you can probably find it. But he died here, I think, in 1925. At the age of 75, and he was part owner of the Lost Horse Mine, which was one of the wealthiest mines in Joshua Tree National Park. So let's go check out the mine and tell the story of Johnny Lang.
Before we hike to the mine, a quick note on getting to the trailhead. It's actually pretty easy. This dirt road is usually fine for most cars, as long as it's dry. Just know that parking is limited, so on busy days, earlier is better.
Let's talk about Johnny Lang. Well, I think he was born in Texas in 1850. He didn't make it to Joshua Tree until I think something like 1894. He was a prospector, wasn't doing too well. One day his horse went missing. He followed the horse tracks to this house of a fellow by the name of Jim McCaney, who in my opinion was one of the biggest POSs in the world. I mean, just a horrible dude. Basically his occupation was cattle and horse thief, outlaw. So anyway, Johnny Lang follows his horse tracks to McCaney's place and said, hey, my horse is lost. Have you seen it? And he said, your horse isn't lost anymore, but you should get lost right now. So rather than getting in a gunfight and dying, Johnny decided he'd just let him have his horse. Kind of distraught on the way back, he visited a friend. His name was Frank Diebold. Diebold tells him, hey, I know of this gold strike, but every time I try to go there, Jim McCaney chases him off. Johnny Lang decides, well, maybe this is a good opportunity to get back at McCaney. So he somehow conjures up the money, which was $1,000 to buy the claim, which back then, of course, was a lot of money, but I think he had some help. And then he hired a bunch of people to help keep McCaney foiling his plan. That worked. The mine turned out to be one of the richest in Joshua Tree history. You know, there was a lot of mines. It produced something like 10,000 ounces of gold and 16,000 ounces of silver, and today's value would be about $12 million. And what we're going to see today, I think the only thing left, is the 10-stamp mill. Anyway, Lang was managing the night shift at the mine, you know, with his partners in charge and whatnot, and they noticed that the night shift was producing a lot less gold than the day shift. And they suspected maybe there was some funny business with Lang. So they spied on him at night and figured out that he was stealing gold, basically out of his own mine, but he wasn't sharing it with his partners. The partners basically told him, you sell your share of the mine to us now and leave or else. And so he did. And then he became kind of this bit of a bumbling idiot character in the desert, stole a few cattle. Cattle thievery was a big deal back then. The legend has it that every now and again, Johnny Lang would sell off some large chunks of gold. The rumor had it that when he was stealing gold, he had stashed a whole bunch of it somewhere. So when he needed money, he would just go grab some of his stolen gold. And he met his end in 1925. He would have been 75 years old, and he was living somewhere, and he posted a note on his door. He said, going for grub, be back in a bit. And he never came back. 3 months later, they found his body out in the desert, and this other famous guy from the area, Bill Keyes, buried him and made a tombstone for him. So that's how he met his death. Just froze to death out in the desert. That's how it got its name, because part of what Lang was trying to do is get revenge on Jim McCaney for stealing his horse. So he decided to name the mine Lost Horse Mine. Much to the dismay of Jim McCaney, he had great success with the mine. Really nice trail. We did a bit of climbing there, as you can tell by my breathing, but now it's leveled out. It's really pretty. This trail goes up to the mine, and it's 2 miles one way, so you could do a 4-mile round trip, but you can also do a 6-mile loop. And this is the what the map looks like. And you could see that intersection back there. That's the California riding and hiking trail. It's really long. It goes throughout the desert. It crisscrosses a bunch of other trails. But we are going to continue up the Lost Horse Mine Trail. As you can see, this trail we're going up is obviously a kind of a road. It's wide enough for a narrow vehicle, and of course usually with these mines they have to have a way to get stuff in and out. Presumably that's what this road was for, but it's pretty rough for a vehicle. So they probably had wagons and burros, but perhaps in the later years they may have driven off-road vehicles up here. It's very rugged though. Okay, we're a little over a mile in. We get to this crest and we're going to go across a dip here, and we're afforded beautiful views down to the valley below, and that is looking kind of northwest, I think. Okay, as I said, we're a little over a mile in, and I just came across this stone structure, which is probably somebody's dwelling back in the day. Definitely a little ways from the mine, but close enough. Let's see. Looks like there's a door over here, and then it goes down a little bit. Yeah, it's probably somebody's desert home back in the day. Just piled rocks, and they probably put some branches over it, make a roof. A lot of work. All right, folks, we're getting near the mine, and this is some sort of old cart thing or something. Not sure what it is, but it's got steering on it. And then there's a pile of tailings right here, and then up on the hill up above is where the 10 stamp mill is. Right there you can see the likely the pipe that brought the water up from the wells that were down below, and over there you can see the trail going along the hill. Alright, so what we're seeing here are these stone water tanks. I think there's 2 of them. Obviously water was crucial in processing the ore. And so we have one here. You can see that inside is lined with cement to make it waterproof. And I think I saw another one. I don't know where it went. Okay, I see the other one. It was behind me, so I didn't see it, but it's just down the hill and over to the side a little bit. The mill's right there. And this is the other tank. Looks like the lining has kind of withered away on this one, but you get the idea. Pump up the water here and then they could access it quickly. Now here we have a pretty cool contraption, this geared thing, really nicely made, heavy duty, and obviously a cable was probably wrapped around that, and I believe the way it worked is they probably used this to haul the ore up from that little square shaft there. Maybe the workers go up and down too, because I think it went down several hundred feet, and then it had side tunnels, and that's how they did it. So they have to have a way to get people and ore up and down. Look at these bearing things here. Really cool. Very well built piece of machinery. And there's some storage tanks over there. Those might be where they boiled off the mercury to separate the gold. Here's the square shaft that's right behind the 10 stamp mill. There's a bunch of writing on that gear thing up there. We'll get a close up of that. Improved stone breaker made by Fraser Chalmers, Chicago, Illinois. Size 10 by 7. So it must be the size of the number of the stamps and maybe the diameter. It's number 871. Here's a view of the stamps from behind, from above. You can see how they are rigged to go up and down. There's the big wheel. And here's some of the machinery at the bottom. This thing over here, I believe, is the steam engine that would have operated the whole thing. And here's some busted up wheels. And here's a close-up of the stamps. Very cool. And this is where the ore presumably came out in these little holes here that's already crushed. Here's another very cool view of the stamps. There's 5 on each side. And once again, the ore comes out here, I believe, and probably comes out of these holes here. There's a close-up of the cylinders. And there's the crankshaft in there. Big wheel still has some green paint on it. And then we got these 2 tubs here, this one here, and one more over here. I think they have a concrete bottom in them. Yeah. All right, folks, we saw the mill now. Stick around, don't go anywhere yet, because I have decided I'm going to do this extra loop hike. It hikes all the way around the back and does a total of 6 miles, goes up and over that pass over there. So we're going to check that out. So let's do that now. I'll make a promise to you. I'll keep things really brief so it doesn't take forever, but at least you get to see that auxiliary loop. And we're taking a little single track trail down from the mill up there. You can see the tailings cut off a little bit, and we'll cross this wash here and get over on the trail. All right, folks, so I just gained the pass here. It's pretty windy up here. It's right there. Mine's over there. You can maybe see it in the distance, maybe not. I find myself looking down on that's the Malapai, that cinder there, cone. This valley here is, trying to remember what the valley's name is, but I'll put it down below. But that's the one we drove on yesterday and did a video about the road that goes through. And if you look way over there in the distance, where that light area, that's kind of a dry lake bed. The road goes along the left here, and then it comes back over on this side, and then makes a loop, and then it heads back out that way. That's a really cool loop, and it's kind of fun to see it from here, because we were just down there looking up to here, and I never thought I'd be here. I'm really glad I'm doing this extra hike. And I also want to point out that it's really loose and rocky, very easy to slip, and I did back there. I took a little spill. It's just a reminder to exercise extreme caution, because you don't want to get hurt out here, break a bone, or sprain an ankle, or get bloodied up. Unfortunately, my fall was 100% benign. You got to be especially careful around the mine, because it's really steep and you could get hurt. And I was pretty good about being careful there, and I think I let my guard down once I got away from the mine. Oh my God, this is another, oh wow, that goes way down over there. I don't know if you can see the trail in the distance there, but I think it goes down there and then back up over that pass. Should be interesting. Really nice view of the cinder there. All right, folks, I just came upon this old chimney right along the trail, about 1.5 miles from the mine, and all that's left is the chimney, a few chunks of metal, and an old bed, sides fold down apparently. This was obviously somebody's cabin. There's some broken glass in the ground, and I wonder if this person worked at the mine. But look at the work on the chimney. There's bigger rocks, and they just filled all the little gaps with smaller rocks. Somebody spent some time. All right, folks, I reckon we've got maybe a little bit more than 1 mile to go. We've come down a bit, and we're seeing a lot of Joshua trees, which is very cool. It's also gotten pretty flat. We're just cruising along the wash here. Pretty easy going for the last mile or so. Here's an old juniper.
It's hard to believe this quiet place once produced millions in gold and still holds stories most people never hear.